If we could address you directly right now.
Everything comes full circle.
That's number one.
I don't tell him what questions to ask me.
There are a lot of people around town that have the same question.
Brush my teeth, I'm a good watch in the morning.
I can't confirm or deny.
This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome into Newhouse Afternoon, everyone, here on ESPN Radio Syracuse. Got you until 3 o'clock today. Dan Papillo, Josh Radjanov, and Jacob K off camera trying to get his microphone out from under the chair right now, which is,
like
just
live play-by-play commentary of what's happening.
Very par for the course here. And just,
Jacob will be joining us in a second.
Exactly what you want.
I guess what we'll say.
A fun weekend in sports, 100% here on a Monday afternoon. Opening weekend of baseball, a lot of exciting stuff with the football team.
Dan, I know I watched baseball all weekend.
As it appears that we have a solution to our problem over here.
Jacob will be joining us shortly. He's figuring out the mic situation, but there we go. You can hear him.
Audio.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Jacob.
Hey, how's it going?
After you all good over there now?
Oh, I'm excellent. This audio's messed up, but it doesn't matter. I could hear myself. I could hear you.
All right, that's all you can ask for. Let's talk some Syracuse football, because there were some big storylines this weekend. The biggest one being that Syracuse and Colorado had their opportunity to play a spring game together. They put in the waiver. They put in the request. The NCAA said no. No, sir.
Yeah, the NCAA seemed like it was just coming at it from like a timing perspective. Like this was all kind of happening too late. The FES Oversight Committee, they said that they cited like 3 factors that went into it. Late timing was one of the main ones. They felt that Syracuse and Colorado would gain more of an advantage from it, more than the other teams wouldn't. And then, kind of funny, they also cited academic reasonings, which when has the NCAA ever cared about?
What are their finals coming up that week? Come on now.
I don't know. I don't know what the scheduled date was, but I do think that this is something that the NCAA seems like they would consider adding more later on. Like maybe down the road letting teams do it, but it's just unfortunate. Syracuse and Colorado would have been 2 electric teams for this to be like an inaugural thing to do.
Oh,
that would have been awesome.
I think it just kind of comes down to, when we all heard the idea, when it came up, when Deion Sanders made that tweet, Fran Brown responded to it. Nobody really thought anything of it. We all kind of thought it was just a joke.
I didn't think it was a joke.
I thought it was.
They were both dead serious about it.
I guess they were. I mean, I just thought it was some playful Twitter banter.
No.
I think we'd get to the point where the NCAA would even have to step in.
I mean, think about it. I mean, NFL teams do it all the time with their preseasons and so that. Why wouldn't you want to, see how you stack up against other teams, especially with, this would be a Big 12 team and an ACC team, coming together. I heard that there were rumors that Oklahoma and Oklahoma State wanted to do something because their, Bedlam game isn't happening anymore. Same thing with like Texas Tech, other regional games that, are separate conferences now. You see how you stack up against the rest of the football world. I get why not this year. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if we see it coming in the near future.
The whole thing's pretty stupid.
The whole thing is stupid?
No, I get the idea. It's a fun idea, but who cares outside of Syracuse?
I mean, Colorado cares.
Outside of that, who cares?
The college football world, everybody was talking about it. You had
I get the idea.
You had people tweeting about it, saying that was going to be cool.
I get the idea. It's cool, but I think the whole thing, the whole committee saying it's not happening, it's a late time. I mean, come on. First of all, that we know is nonsense. But also, I don't know, just do it already. They could just meet up and play. Right?
I mean, I think they do need the NCAA.
I would think, that they kind of.
I don't know. It's just a little, to me. It's a little unfortunate. It's upset. It's just why not? Just kind of. I don't know. It would have created for some spring buzz after the March Madness tournament. It would have been nice, but it didn't happen. So I guess we have to move on a little bit. I saw it came out Friday, right?
Yeah, Friday night.
Friday, it's a Friday news dump. There you go. It's just, I don't know.
The NCAA also said that they thought that Colorado and Syracuse would receive recruiting advantages because of this. I don't know how that
makes any sense.
But that could be the main reason.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, look, anytime you get 2 big programs that could come together in practice, I'm sure that would be a sway to maybe some recruits or something like that. But I don't know. I don't think there's many cons. I think the biggest thing is they want parity. So if like one team does it or two teams do it, then every team should have the opportunity to do so. And I think the NCAA is saying, look, maybe not now, because if we agree to like these two teams saying it or doing this inter squad scrimmage, then other teams are going to come knocking at the door 100%. One by one.
This would definitely
maybe that's like just like a put out the fire type move.
This would definitely be setting the trend. This would be something that you would see every team do, or you would see every team at least try to do it. So I guess you're kind of right. I see what the NCAA was trying to do and saying like, okay, this is not a bad idea, but it can't happen right now because then everybody's going to want to do it. Because I think that's kind of what the main argument is. I think it's kind of a weak sauce reason to throw in like academics and dumb stuff like that.
Let's call it like we see it.
Yeah, like let's just be honest. Let's just be honest here and say like, okay, it's not going to happen because it's
they're
a little
worried
too
about
quick.
Players missing school, yet they miss school all the time for games and stuff like that.
There's no problem. That's what's called like you say it. That's nonsense.
It is a little bit of nonsense, but there's nothing wrong with a little bit of football buzz and a little bit of a weird timing. It's the end of March. April starts tomorrow. It's it's cool, but there's still some cool stuff going on in the football world for Syracuse, including 2 new recruits committing today, 2 of which could be pretty exciting, despite being just 3 stars. Somebody wants to dive into it.
Yeah. So Cameron Wilson from Florida, a 3-star edge tackle, a 3-star athlete, Zayden McDonald from Newark. So Zayden McDonald's a big one because Syracuse owning the Northeast is, I think, really important. I think Fran Brown came in with a goal saying that he wants to own the Northeast in terms of recruiting. We saw it last year. He did a really good job recruiting in his hometown, Camden. Newark, obviously, McDonald coming from there. Anyone from Jersey, New York, Philly, Pennsylvania, any of those kind of like Northeast areas, I feel like Syracuse has been doing a much better job at. And that's important going down the road with these recruits. Like getting the Northeast is really important because there's some good football talent that comes out of the Northeast.
It's not like the football hotbed. Everybody talks about Florida, they talk about Texas, they talk about California, those warm weather areas. The Northeast has got some dogs. I think that's kind of what Fran Brown's main mantra has been, is like Northeast football is supposed to be tough.
I mean, McDonald took Syracuse over Tennessee, Ohio State, other big Power 5 school or power, football schools. So I guess it is something to note.
Well, I mean, Colin McCord transferred here from Ohio State,
Yeah.
so I mean, there's your number one example. But that's a great point, Josh. No, I mean, they have a tough schedule. They have to. It's a big season ahead. Last year coming to the season, there was this kind of a little hype, excitement, but now the expectations are high, and there might be a little too high. I think potentially we can get. That's not really for today though. We have months until the season starts.
We are really excited to watch Syracuse football.
But all the hype, and if they start off, even if they go, let's say 500 in the year, like even if they're just fine, people are going to be all mad about it. Oh, they stink, fire for it. Like people are going to get all annoyed about it. When I think, look at the schedule and just take it easy.
The schedule's tough next
year. I just think it's funny, because right now we're just looking for things to talk about in the world of Syracuse sports. And when you look at the 2 sides of the coin, you have Fran Brown bringing in so much talent and kind of having like an assembly line of talent coming in. And then Syracuse basketball this weekend brings in a UCLA transfer, a guy who had 2 points and 3 rebounds last year.
Yeah, Syracuse, the transfer portal hasn't really started yet for basketball.
There's 700 guys in the portal.
Yeah, but it's not like anyone's really making too many head moves. It's not like in football where, while the playoffs are going on, people have to, use the transfer portal because that's whenever the semester ends. With basketball, there's still so much time. The transfer portal really moves until the rest of the semester into summer even too. So I would say still be patient with who Syracuse basketball is going to be getting.
I think it's funny the way the picture has been painted for both sides.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Fran Brown brings in talent. It's, oh my God, great job, Fran Brown. Look at Syracuse football go. Adrian Autry brings in talent, and it's like, okay.
That picture's been painted since the beginning of the year. Football has had so much excitement this year, especially with the season that Syracuse had. And then you look at basketball and the team that they put together this year, of course the excitement's completely flipped. Of course there's a big 180 there.
Perhaps basketball is doing some dumpster diving.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, the
Perhaps they're looking in the trash.
The team next year is actually it could look pretty decent.
You got to have talent. You got to add some more talent.
And of course, but you just got started with the transfer portal.
No shade to William Kyle III. He was a Summit League Defensive Player of the Year at South Dakota State before transferring to UCLA. He's very good athletically, could be very good for this program. I just think it's funny, like I said, is more about the picture and how it's being framed and how we continue to talk about it.
It's a great point.
It's just very funny.
Well, you saw Fran Brown talking about the other day how there's that big Cuse NIL fund, talking about how the NIL is going to go to all the different sports and stuff like that. And Fran Brown was talking about how the money needs to be, it can't just all go into football, or like majority of it can't just all go into football. He says building a great culture has to do with, and building a great program in football also has to do with building around in the other sports and everything as well. So
he wants it out of football. Come on.
Hey, you got to even it out somewhere. I mean, you talk about all this NIL stuff. I mean, it was rumored that I think William Kyle got about $700,000 to come to the Orange or something like that.
Really?
So it makes you really wonder where the budget really sits. If a guy that averaged 2 points per game last year gets $700,000,
that's like paying Marcus Stroman $18 million a year. $18.5 million a year. I mean, come on.
They're the Yankees.
That's like paying someone so much. But that's like taking DJ LeMahieu and just letting him sit on the bench.
Setting lines.
Paying him for $15 million a year for the next 2 years. 2 years at least. I think it's maybe 3 years. Letting this guy rot on the bench. I mean, come on.
We should start setting lines for how long it takes Jacob to mention the Yankees.
Listen, this week I'll give him a pass. There's a lot of hype around the Yankees, which we're going to get into a little bit later in the show because we want to cut Jacob off to some degree. But, it has to come up eventually. I mean, you got to make connections in the world of sports. And to Jacob, the only way to make connections in sports is to connect it to the Yankees.
The Yankees. Always talking about the Yankees.
No, only 2 years. Oh, thank God.
Well, we're going to take a quick break here on Newhouse Afternoon, but still plenty to talk about, including the Final Four is set now over the weekend. Jacob thinks it's kind of boring, which we're going to have to debate. Don't go anywhere here on ESPN Radio Syracuse.
Sweet.
So typical.
Always.
Yes, it's a Yankee show.
As long as the Yankees get an A block, he's okay.
No, it's the biggest topic of the day. It
I would
genuinely
love to hear
is.
some callers about the bats. Yeah.
When I was in comm law, so I sort of missed. I'm sort of like I had like the hour and a half of kind of just not seeing anything. So I'm like, let me hear. Shoot.
He said, did he take down the tweet? No.
I don't know. I thought him going after Portnoy was pretty funny.
He went after Portnoy.
We got a commenter on Twitch that said Yankees Afternoon hosted by Jacob K.
That is very...
Okay, I see what he said. 10K. Okay. Explanation. The barrel is bigger within the MLB regulation. For the idiots that say it's moved to the label, you're an idiot. That's English. Nobody is trying to get jammed. You just move the wood from the parts you don't use to the parts you do. You're welcome. No more stress for your all. That has 10,000 likes, 1.4 million views within 2 hours, for sure.
I don't think they're not doing anything wrong. That's the thing. Everybody's just complaining to complain. I don't think this is
complaining
how is this
they're the
illegal?
Yankees.
Yeah.
Not illegal yet.
No, it's not illegal yet. That's true. And I think the MLB is just no fun, and they probably will ban these bats at some point.
No, I mean, bats change all the time. I mean, I remember like remember whenever like the whole thing with like the handle, they would put like the weight more at the handle.
The axe handle.
Yeah, like it just happens. Like
that very much did not help Jeff McNeil hit the baseball. That's all.
I remember I remember when I was like playing baseball and stuff. I was training and I would use like a bunch of like different bats. It's just all a feel thing. Like if Jazz Chisholm feels better with a bat that's still within regulation size, then good for him. Plus, pitchers will figure it out. It's been one weekend. I love it whenever people overreact in baseball. It's been one weekend.
Just you wait till we start talking about the Mets. I mean, 5 runs in 3 games.
Astros cheating with bats worse than, or excuse me, Yankees cheating with bats worse than the Astros. I don't know if I would make that argument. Jeff McNeil's hurt so sad. Hate Acuna.
No, the Mets right now. Acuna and Beatty. Like, the Mets 1 through 5 is so intimidating on paper. 6 through 9 is a joke. Everybody talks about, like,
you're just like, you're not deep enough. The team is just not.
I'm sorry, I'm not moved by Marte, Tyrone Taylor, Brett Beatty, and Luis Torrens.
I'll take this.
Go for it.
Segment, by the way. But yeah, I'm not moved by. Like, you need deadline moves, and this year is just not going to be the year for you guys.
Senga's starting tomorrow, which is interesting enough. Having Peterson and Senga start against Miami is very interesting to me. I don't know. Kind of just top-loading. Although Clay Holmes was pretty good. So was Canning.
I mean, look, was he the best?
No, but it was good. It's all you could ask for. It really was.
All you can.
Sounds good.
All you can ask for from your. Jacob, you hit a home run?
No, Vlad's hitting a home run tonight.
His home run parlay?
Oh.
I remember you bringing this up at the end of the season last year. Jacob, in between all the Frank the Tank videos that Jacob sends me, usually, we're talking about betting, and I sent him yesterday that the Islanders were like a plus 285, and it was the biggest underdog they've ever been since 2010, and then Jacob's response was, OMG, I hate Marcus
Watch
Stroman.
your favorite ESPN Syracuse sports talk shows on QSportsTalk.com.
He was pitching at the time. I mean, I was annoyed.
Broadcasting stars today, broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Newhouse Afternoon here on QSportsTalk.com, ESPN Radio Syracuse 97.7. This hour of Newhouse Afternoon is powered by Drivers Village Cicero. Go to dvoffers.com for more info. Josh Rajanov alongside Dan Papillo, Jacob K here. The Final Four was set this weekend. Some good matchups, but it's all 1 seeds. For the first time since 2008, Auburn and Florida will be the first game. Duke and Houston, the second game to set up the championship happening in San Antonio. You called it March blandness, Jacob, last time we were on the show.
I mean, here's the honest truth. I am thrilled with what happened this weekend. There was a bet I had with a friend. The 1 seeds all made it. Bam! But I'll be honest. I mean, this is probably the best March Madness we've had in years. Toward this Final Four.
This is a complete 180
This is
compared to what he said last week. This is the 1 seeds. This is the best of the best competing with the best. This is like, who's going to win? This is the betting lines. I don't know what the lines are, but I'm sure they're very close.
I'm
right?
sure, yeah.
100 for sure.
Looks like it. 2.5 for Florida and 5.5 for Duke.
Yep, that's amazing. I mean, I am so excited. I am juiced up. I am zeked up. Let's go. When the game starts
Saturday night.
The only thing I was annoyed about is the game started so late this weekend. I mean, there was a week. Games going until like 1 a.m. I mean, what are we doing?
Little weird, yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know. I've kind of been on the fence about this. Like, everybody talking about, like, oh, is it suck that it's all 1 seeds? But this year, all year, we were talking about how college basketball was top-heavy and kind of how these superstar teams were really dominant. And we kind of were on that collision course. All season long, it was the talk between Auburn and Duke. These two teams are going to clash at some point down the line. Everybody's saying it was probably going to be the national championship game. And here we are. I mean, Florida and Houston definitely are going to put up a fight. I mean, that's kind of been the MO all college basketball season long. So why are people complaining?
I think it's funny because you have the two of the best conferences in college basketball represented this year with the SEC and the Big 12. And then you have just Duke, who wiped through a very weak ACC this year.
Give me a break.
I mean, but we're getting the 4 best teams who are going to play each other for a chance to win the national championship. Like, I don't know what else more you can ask for. Sure, it's always fun whenever you get like a random 8 seed, or like 2 years ago whenever you had no one above a 4 seed. Like, it's always fun whenever you get those moments. I mean, I know I had Gonzaga going to my Elite 8. I know you had UConn in your Final Four. Like, it's always cool whenever that stuff happens. But think about it. This is the first time this is happening since 2008.
Yeah.
I mean, that was Jacob K's time whenever the Yankees last won the World Series a year after that. I know.
I was at the parade.
You were at the parade as a 5-6-year-old?
7.
So
6.
It was at the parade. I was able to skip school that day.
Either way,
bringing it
back to topic.
Won't see it again.
I think that this is going to be it should be a fun Final Four, that's for sure.
It 100% will be, and there's part of me that thinks, like, I'm thinking about this from a lot less of an X's and O's perspective. You know how, like, there's the joke, like, people that don't watch college basketball at all that fill out a March Madness bracket and probably just picked all the 1 seeds to go to the Final Four?
That's what I did.
That's like, they're lucky them. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. I'm never picking an upset again. No. I think the best way to do it is you pick upsets in the first round and then just pick chalk the rest of the way.
That
and
is
kind
a
of
good way to go.
like hedging if you're going to go on and win a bracket pool or whatever, because this is just like, yeah, it's cool for as a basketball fan perspective, but if you're like actually like care about March Madness and stuff like that, then it's unfortunate.
So you're picking Florida?
Well, no, my
you
1
picked
seeds.
all number 1.
Of course I did.
So Jacob is boring and picked all the 1 seeds.
Many risk and took all the.
I don't think about that. I think about who's going to win. I'm looking at it how it is. I'm not trying to be.
How are you doing in your brackets?
Yeah.
I only have one bracket. That's
how it should be.
That's
one bracket only.
You get one bracket. You don't get 20 brackets. 79.7%.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
Good.
940 points. I ranked 5 millionth, 160, 371. Good enough for me. I mean, I'm thrilled. I think Florida will probably win it, but Florida's great.
So you have Florida beating Auburn. I mean, Florida and Auburn were kind of like the rivalry going down the stretch. They played a couple times. I think Florida got the best of Auburn the last 2 times they've played. I think Florida overall is 2-1 against Auburn this season. It should be interesting. It's kind of like that NFL theory whenever, it's hard to beat a team, 3 times in a row, especially whenever, you get those in-division matchups. Similar concept here in basketball. I mean, I don't think the regular season can really tell you the story. These 2 teams are just so close and have so much talent on their teams where it's going to be a good game.
I think Florida is the only one of these 4 teams that ended up making the Final Four that showed weakness this weekend.
Yeah, they
were down very much. They were down a lot to Texas Tech.
Yeah, I mean, Texas Tech is a good team, though.
I know. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying that, Auburn, Duke, and Houston kind of cakewalked their way into this a little bit. The Duke-Alabama game wasn't even close.
Yeah.
It was just kind of surprising. But you got to think just, it's good for the sport. It's good for the end. It's good for the diehard fan. That's kind of what I was getting at, I think. Everybody wants to say, oh, upsets are cool. That's what makes March Madness. But you got to realize it's pretty good to see the best teams duke it out for the championship.
And I feel like that's the state of where basketball as a sport is in general.
Okay.
There's a lot of talent disparity to where it is really top heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that has to do with, the NBA level as well. Because you look at a player like Cooper Flagg, or you look at like a Walter Clayton on Florida, or Janai Broome, or you look at a lot of the star players on these 4 teams who are probably going to end up being, NBA talents. I feel like there is a big gap right now between the top talents on these, top 4 teams, the Claytons, the Flaggs, the top players in college basketball, and there's a huge dip to even like the middle tier or some of these middle tier teams, like, even like the Texas Techs or the Arkansas or the Kansas, like some of these middle seeds who don't have maybe the best talent. And I just feel like the talent disparity, it kind of shows up in the NBA too whenever it comes to like the draft and stuff like that. And I think it's really starting to show here in college, especially with how chalk this year has been.
Yeah, well said. I think the money has to.
I was just about to say
it's
that.
the money.
Yeah, I think, having that NIL kind of this new world of college sports that we're in and looking at kind of where the top guys end up going, if it really is all about money to them, which you kind of see in most of these guys when they make their decisions, then the top teams are always going to be better than the other ones. There's going to be a talent gap, but everybody talks about March Madness being the best because of parity. So if you lose the parity, does March Madness kind of lose that magic?
Well, all you need is one upset, Sal.
Yeah, like I still don't know if March Madness is losing that magic, because it kind of like, look, we've never seen a 4 number 1 seed Final Four since 2008, but we've also hadn't seen a year like 2023 in a while either. Like it's not like that year in 2023, it's not like that's happening every single. That was a very odd case where you had a lot of lower seeds making the Final Four. I think it's almost kind of getting back to normalcy, and for the first time, we've kind of seen the number 1 seeds do what they are supposed to do, which is win convincingly in the tournament. I think the teams are just better coached. they're playing better. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the talent gap, because if there is a talent gap, no matter what, teams can still beat these top teams. Like UConn can still beat Florida. I mean, UConn almost did beat Florida. Or if you go down the list, I mean, Michigan could have beaten Auburn. Like, it's not like that talent disparity is that much of a gap. But with that being said, that does become an issue with the way that this Final Four has set up.
I think it's kind of one of those things that you got to see how it plays out over a couple years stretch before we can make that opinion of, is this the money ruining things? Is the money kind of taking away from the magic of March Madness?
It's not like NIL is new.
Yeah, no, it's not that it's new. It's just that it's taking more of the forefront of everything now. I think it's interesting to look at because, like you said, this is the first time we've seen this since 2008. If it continues to happen, then you can make that argument. But who knows what will happen next year? That's what kind of the fun of the tournament is. Anything can happen. We might see no one seeds make it next year. You just have no idea.
I highly doubt we'll see the same thing next year.
You think so?
I mean, 2 years in a row. This happened twice. Like, it's not going to happen again. I mean, all you need is one team to be hot, the hot hand. I mean, Syracuse obviously next year is going to be in it. I mean, they're going to totally.
Of course.
I'm trying to be positive here, Josh. the positive vibes. I mean, they probably won't be, but I hate to say it. I try to call it like I see it, but I mean, you never know. Maryland, who knows what's going on with the Cinderella stories.
With their coach.
What's
going on with Maryland?
That's surprising. I don't know, man. I just think that in this new world, it's just kind of hard to see guys. There's no loyalty anymore.
I mean, and it's so weird. Like, fans are always so quick to judge players whenever they jump ship, to do what's best for them career-wise, because they're still young and want to make, a living. Whenever you see like stuff like that happening with coaches, and we've seen it all across college basketball this year. I mean, Xavier's coach leaving for Texas, Maryland's coach leaving for Villanova, a bunch of other examples. I mean, McNeese's coach leaving for NC State. That's a bit of a different example, but still. You're seeing it. I don't know why we don't question the coaches as much too for their loyalty, and if we can't question both of them, then I think it's just fair people are making their life moves. But it is just an odd state that
because everybody's saying now about the players, it's like, oh, it's not playing in college, it's a job at this point. For the coaches, it actually is a job, which is kind of where, you can't really fault them for making career choices and paying more money for their life. But if the players are having that similar conversation, then of course they're going to go take a better opportunity somewhere else.
Overall, you guys think this is good or bad for the NCAA? What this for the state of college basketball? What this tournament has been?
I mean, we're talking about it, so it's good.
I was going to say, I think it's too early to call, but it's definitely good in the fact that, people care. People want to know what's going on in the world of college basketball, even in areas kind of like New York, the Northeast areas where college sports aren't as big as professional sports. They never really take the forefront. So it's kind of interesting to see, with a team like St. John's going on a run this year.
But they didn't.
Well, they went on a run in the regular season.
I wish. I picked them to win. Not a great idea. Stupidity. That wasn't a great pick to win.
But having that, having college sports kind of take the limelight for a little bit is great.
No, I agree. I don't necessarily think I can say that this is a good or a bad thing for college basketball. I just think it's just how the game has turned out. I don't know. I think overall this March Madness has been good. It should be fun to see what happens in the Final Four. 4 number 1 seeds, first time that's happened since 2008. It all happens on Saturday?
Saturday, yes.
Saturday
from the Alamo
night.
Dome.
Yeah, in San Antonio. Should be an interesting place to watch some basketball. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about what's been going on all around sports Twitter, all around sports discussion. What's going on with the new baseball bats? We have it next on Newhouse Afternoon.
The Sports Show with Coach.
That was a great tease.
Thank you.
Yeah, but Jacob's going to go crazy. I don't know who this is. Someone in the chat said, anyone ever tell you sound like John Mulaney? I don't know who they're talking about here.
Is that in reference to me? Me?
I don't know.
I mean, I do a good John Mulaney impression.
Do you? Let's hear it.
Okay.
Do I like the Mets Devils money line tonight parlay? Ooh, I like this question. I like that. What?
Peterson
on the bump. Devils playing the Wild.
Marlins, they're 3-1. They think they're good.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I don't hate it.
They're not.
It's a big.
They need to win.
Devils play the Wild.
They beat them. They beat them the other day. Now they're back at home. They need to win because they have like a 8-point lead. They need to close it out, get a playoff class, and lose in the first round.
Yep. Sorry, didn't catch your name. Gray shirt. Yes, John Mulaney. Nice.
Oh, you sound like
I guess
John
I sound like John Mulaney. I guess. Dan, by the way. You know, he didn't catch it at the beginning of the block.
I don't think I would ever coin you as sounding like John Mulaney. Wait, speak.
I mean, I just have a pretty basic voice. I don't really know how. I never really got that one.
I never heard.
I never get. If you think about it, yeah, okay. I've never gotten anything about my voice. I always get stuff about my appearance. I got told I look like Steve Levy the other day, and then someone else said that I look like Josh from Drake and Josh.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the Steve Levy one. I was wearing a suit, and he was like, "Dude, you look just like Steve Levy." I'm like, I guess. Thanks. Take that as a compliment, I guess.
Oh my God! First of all, I don't know how to tie a tie. That's
to the
number
Yankees
one.
funeral, you were.
Last time I wore a suit was last semester. For whatever you guys want, I have a lot to say about this bat thing. I
think you should take us into this because this is your Super Bowl.
Oh, I've looked up how to tie a tie for I've looked up like how to tie a tie for idiots or for like easy. Like that's what I've looked up.
I still struggle with it. It's bad.
I do a great job of tying a tie.
Also, I'm never wearing. I
figured it out.
I love the.
My parents tied my tie until I was until I got here.
I was gonna say I'm kind of jealous of the kids that went to like private schools, had to wear like dress clothes every single day because they have those skills just ingrained in their mind. Like I don't have that. I could never do that. It's kind of like good for you.
I mean, once you kind of get the hang of it, it's not that hard to tie a tie.
I don't know.
Jaron Duran home run tonight. You heard it.
I tried watching the Jason Tatum video. That didn't work either.
You think Rafael Devers breaks the? That's my suffering moment.
I think they're playing right now, actually.
Are they actually? Oh, is their home opener?
No, they're at 2-something. Yeah, they might be now. I'm trying to find out the home runs tonight. Corey Seager hasn't home run yet, right?
No.
He's due.
Hey, you know who also is due? Francisco Lindor.
Yeah, he'll hit in June.
He had a kid today, so he might not play. But
oh, he had him. Very good. Salvador Perez hit a home run. I get distracted.
And yes, your voice is an asset for sure. Thank you, SuperCat610. I appreciate that.
All right.
It's gonna try to, this is what's gonna get me far in life. I'd hope.
Yeah. Sure.
Don't tell me the Royals already Salvador Perez. Give me a second.
I mean, I'm placing my bets on Jazz Chisholm and Anthony Volpe to hit home runs every single game now.
Yeah, at this rate.
I mean, with their bats, it's just too much of an unfair advantage.
I'm not gonna lie. The second I turned on the Yankee game on Thursday, I thought the balls were juiced. I was like, that first swing from Wells, I was like, all right, we're really doing this again.
Monocars.com. ESPN 97.7 and 100.1. Here we go. Watch live on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Yes, that's right. Newhouse Afternoon with you, Jacob K., Josh Radjanov, Dan Pillow with you on ESPN Radio Syracuse and QSportsTalk.com. The talk of town of today, for whatever reason, for whatever preposterous reason, is these new bats, these torpedo bats. So first, if you're living under a rock, I'm going to tell you what they are. They're this MIT genius who's no longer with the Yankees.
I think he's about to get like a bat, like
transferred the weight of. They analyze where players hit the ball most, and they put the weight of the bat to that point. It's as simple as that. And people are saying they're cheating. Whatever. I'm going to tell you something. This is the analysis you're going to get nowhere else. The Yankees are idiots for this.
Why?
Why would you go into a broadcast and say something about it?
I agree.
Why would you let the entire world.
Oh, that's fair.
know
You know
about
what?
it. Why would you? We're talking. Why would you?
Okay, but it's not like it's a groundbreaking invention.
No, because other players are using it already. Well, that's a fact. Lindor was
You don't
using
think
one.
the players talk? You don't think like Jazz Chisholm and Anthony Volpe have no contact with any of the players?
We don't need to know. But we don't need to. The fans don't need to know about it.
What do the fans have to
it's
know
a
about it?
competition, Josh. This is a competition. You're trying to win. You're trying to win. You think telling the whole world like, oh, we've developed a new pitch. No hitter can ever hit this. Hey guys,
It's a copycat
hey guys, this is the grip. You go on YouTube. Hey, this is the grip. You just put your two fingers here. Like that's stupid.
So,
you're trying to win the game. You play to win the game. You don't need to. It's ridiculous how they went on their Yes broadcast voluntarily. They want to say, "Oh, look how smart we are." Oh God, it's so stupid. Why would they ever tell the whole world? Why would you ever go out and tell everyone about it?
Because,
why?
okay.
It's gonna get out.
Wait,
there's
hold on.
obviously a science behind it.
So hold on. You got to realize something. So that guy who developed the bat, the MIT physicist, doesn't work for the team anymore.
No.
So this is common knowledge. Marucci is the one who is making these bats. And they are not just supplying the Yankees. They are supplying it to everybody in the major leagues.
I mean,
I think it was just the Yankees started the trend and people saw, okay, this bat is working. Other teams are going to do that. That's
They
just
shouldn't have
how
said
it
anything.
works.
They shouldn't have said anything about it.
Teams would have
You're
did
right.
it anyway.
That's not the point. They shouldn't have said anything because now you're creating this conversation. Oh, they're cheating. Oh, they're doing this. They're doing that. First of all, it's smart, and they've actually, for once, used their numbers to their advantage. That's number one. Cody Bellinger used this last spring, so Giancarlo Stanton may have gotten injured because I was analyzing. Actually, I'll show you guys. I was analyzing Stanton this morning, his swing. I was looking into this. This is me just ridiculous. Look what I was doing this morning. I was looking at his swing, analyzing.
Oh my goodness!
Can the camera see it here?
God.
I was analyzing. Yeah, they could see it. I was looking at his swing, multiple images of it. I was zooming in. Look at I'll show you guys another one. I mean, this is so awesome. Regular season last year. Wish we had and this is the playoffs. Whoa. I was really looking into this. I was zooming in.
For those who can't see listening on the radio, he's showing just the batting stances.
It's a little different.
Of Giancarlo Stanton.
And the bats. It's a great idea, but it's just annoying me how they said something about it. Why would you? It's not like, and some people can argue, and I know you guys haven't done this yet, which I'm surprised you didn't. Saying, the Yankees don't want to do it. They should, if they keep it a secret, then that means they're cheating.
No,
whatever.
it's not
The
about
league approved it already. Why can't we keep things a secret if we're trying to win? If a pitcher's tipping their pitches, what are you going to go do? Tell the whole world about it? No. You're going to keep it to your own, and even if everyone knows about it, keep it to your own. I don't understand.
There's developments all the time with I mean, do you remember whenever there were the bats that had the more weight at the bottom towards the handle, so that way hitters can feel their hands going to the ball a little bit better, or there's bats that have the handle where it's a little bit slanted or something. There's always developments in the world. It's not and I get it, you're upset that they revealed it, but to be fair, if I'm a hitter, and I used to play baseball in high school, and so
all right,
I was a big shot. But if you're a major league hitter and you've been doing something your entire life, using a bat your entire life, it's all about comfort to them. So while these torpedo bats, it might be comfortable to Jazz Chisholm, to Anthony Volpe, to anyone who's using it, it might not be comfortable to Corey Seager or to Anthony Rizzo or to even other players of the Yankees too. It doesn't matter. It's all about the hitter's comfort. This is just a new style of bat. And by the way, the Yankees just had a really good weekend. It's one weekend.
I was about to say.
Are we really about to overreact? I know they hit a lot of home runs and they scored a lot of runs, but it is one weekend. This bat is not curing cancer.
I was gonna say, I'm a Met fan. Obviously, I have my water bottle here. I don't like the Yankees. I don't have any problem with them though. Why are we scapegoating the fact that the Brewers pitching just sucked this weekend? Nestor Cortez and Aaron
He didn't complain about it. Nestor didn't complain about it.
Nestor Cortez and Aaron Savali were just serving up meatballs all weekend long to the Yankees. The Yankees were just taking advantage of mistakes. Who cares about the bat? Aaron Judge hit 4 home runs. He doesn't even use it.
Guess what? The Twins used them, and they sucked.
Exactly. Francisco Lindor used it, and he's hitting 0 for 12.
It doesn't. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It really does. It's all about the comfort of the
Which
hitter.
is why I'm annoyed about it. Do you get my point? This is why I'm annoyed. Because it doesn't matter. Why are we making it a big deal? Why are they going out and telling people about it? That's my
it is an
point.
interesting
The cat's
story.
out of the bag.
It
and
is an interesting story. People are going to find out about it. Like, look, the bat's obviously different. And look, it's up. If you find out if hitters make mechanical changes, I've been watching the Rangers all weekend, and they've been talking about Adolis Garcia in the offseason, the mechanical changes that he's made, or the small adjustments. In retrospect, this is a very minute adjustment that players noticed. They looked at the analytics, said, this could help us hit a little bit better. Players are always making adjustments. It's within the regulation of what a baseball bat should be. It's not a big deal. And if you see other players using it, good. It's a development. It's a good story. I don't think it's bad on Yes Network, bad on the Yankees for, telling a story on it, because it's going to get out. It's going to get out.
Here's I was going to say, too, not to dog on you, Jacob. We're all journalists here. Capital J journalism. The first thing you do if something new is going on, you dive into it. You see what's going on and you report on it. You would have did the same
Yes
thing.
Network. I was given the impression this morning from somebody that the Yes Network believed that it was going to get out anyway. Obviously,
it was,
and also that the Yankees, I think, probably told them about it, because I don't think they would have noticed.
100%.
Now, I do think that, there's other kind of things that have been added on to this, putting fuel to the fire.
Yeah, former Met, Trevor McGill.
You're thinking of Tyler McGill.
McGill.
This is his brother who pitches for the Brewers. Yeah, not the same person.
Hand up on that one.
Shout out Julie McGill, the mom of Trevor and Tyler, follows me on Twitter for some reason. Just very random. But Trevor McGill said, I think it's terrible. I feel like it's something used in slow pitch softball. It's genius. Put the mass all in one spot. It might be Bush. It might not be. But it's the Yankees, so they'll let it slide. Why are you making that comment?
Yeah, it's...
You didn't even pitch in that game.
It was a bad comment. It's not like they're doing anything wrong either. Like, the Yankees are just not doing anything
The league knew
wrong.
about it before. They would have not used it if it was wrong.
From the source himself, here's what Jazz Chisholm, one of the players who's using the bat, had to say on Twitter. Forgive me for maybe grammar mistakes or anything. This is Jazz Chisholm on Twitter. Okay, explanation. The barrel is bigger and within MLB regulation. For the idiots that say it's moved to the label, you're an idiot. Nobody is trying to get jammed. You just move the wood from the parts you don't use to the parts you do. You're welcome. No more stress for y'all.
Teams barrel the ball.
Right?
That is how you're taught to hit. You barrel the baseball. It's just kind of stupid.
Well, it's funny how the origin of this is like the big wiffle ball bat. Like that's the origin. Like that is the origin
it's a little kid bat,
of the big barrel. You're just distributing the weight to where the player hits the ball. That's it. It's not a big deal. Why are we like everyone? It was on First Take this morning. Everyone's talking about it. Like why say something about it? You're trying to get a competitive advantage.
It's funny you mentioned the Yankees saying something, because I had a bigger gripe with the Yankees on Sunday devoting an entire inning to putting on the president of Yes Network to complain about Comcast than I did about the bats.
That's a little bit different.
That was dumb.
that was
way worse than the bats, which is why it's like, why does this matter?
I think it's all just taking away from a really good weekend of baseball as well.
Yeah, it is.
Like it was. I don't know about y'all. I sat on my couch and just watched baseball all weekend long, and I loved it.
I did too.
I loved it. I'm so glad. I mean, baseball is my favorite sport. I'm pretty sure I can speak the same.
So
for
Jacob,
y'all
instead
too.
of talking about the bats for a little while, why don't you tell us your thoughts on the actual Yankees performance? Because you can't be mad about that. You're Jacob K. You're gonna love the Yankees performance.
Should we take a quick break and do this after?
I don't know. It's up to you. Sure.
Let's take a quick break.
All right. Why not?
On the other side, we'll finish this up to give the Yankees. Dan will say his match. Josh, the Rangers have been. I mean, Jacob deGrom was back yesterday, pitching well. Hopefully he stays healthy. I mean, I'm only rooting for the best for him, seriously. But so on the other side, we'll talk the Yankees, Mets, Rangers, everything else. We'll give you the suffering moments of the week, but the party will continue as always on QSportsTalk.com.
Hey, this is former Syracuse basketball player Atan Thomas.
Last season, the Syracuse.
Sweet. That was fun.
I'm objective.
What?
What?
This is fake. Never mind.
Oh, okay. Relax, buddy.
I forgot about that.
I never fall for these things, but I think I may have to.
Did you just get arson judged? What happened?
No.
He saw The Rock was somewhere
in London, and it was a fake image, like an Instagram post of The Rock being in London, and I thought that's what my reaction was.
Oh, come on.
You want it to be real. I mean,
Lindor is not playing tonight. Shout out the birth of his son.
Well, that's a loss already. Well, he actually.
Look at this. Listen to this lineup: Marte, Soto, Alonso, Nimmo, Vientos, Terens, Beatty, Acuna, Siri.
Sounds like a fucking win to me. Jeez, bro. Come on.
Hey, Jose Siri's an electric factory, all right?
Hey Siri, it's not your night.
I was actually kind of shocked that they started Tyrone for the first 2 days, but then I remembered Tyrone's definitely a better overall hitter.
Oh, definitely.
I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so these are kind of the quotes that. So we're starting with this.
Yeah, no, the Mets this weekend was an interesting watch. 100%.
So are we just continuing?
Oh, yeah?
The White Sox? Oh, they're up 4-0 on the Twins. Let's watch some baseball.
You know who's been fire
That's what
too?
I'm going to do after this.
You know who's been on fire? And Eugenio Suarez has
He has been on
too.
fire. I haven't been fantasy.
Of course, the Yankees have to play the Diamondbacks now. They have to deal with Gallen. I mean, come on. I was so mad about that last
Ricky
night.
Vaughn just hit a 3-run home run.
Oh, my God, it's 7-0 White Sox. That's
7-0
hilarious.
White Sox in their home opener in front of 4 fans.
I mean, hey, the Mets got to go play the Red Hot Marlins. They won 3 games off walk-offs this weekend.
Isn't
And their
y'all's
stupid devil magic.
home opener today?
No, our home opener's on Thursday. And, of course, it's going to rain in New York. It always rains for
Wait,
that
is
home
this the
opener.
White Sox home, or did they play at home this weekend? I imagine if they're playing a day game on a Monday, then it's
No, I
probably
think they
their
did play
opener.
at home over the weekend.
Did they?
They played the Angels, yeah.
Interesting. Then why are
You
they
might be
playing a
right.
day game on Monday?
I don't know. There's a lot of day
games Mondays.
There's a lot of day baseball.
Not usually.
Mondays and Thursdays are day games.
There's nothing.
Thursdays are because they're at the end of the series. Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Or if
'cause
you're
they're
the
end of
Detroit
series.
Tigers, every game during the week is during the day.
That was English.
Yeah, I know. I stumbled on my words there, but I love watching like in the middle of like July, you got nothing going on, and the Tigers are on at 1 o'clock on a Tuesday for just no reason.
Yeah. It's funny, like last semester, like Chris and I would just watch the most random baseball games. We watched White Sox. I think it was actually like White Sox Angels.
I just put it on for background noise.
It
Like
was Ben and Tendi who hit the 3-run home run. Ricky Vaughn is
like my roommate
it's
puts
also Andrew Vaughn.
my roommate always puts on basketball. So I've been like I half watched like last time we were watching like the Rockets. They killed the Suns or whatever. I don't know. Like I
If
just
the game's on for me, I cannot do anything else but watch
You're
the
being
game.
asked if you're Mike K's son.
Yep, he is Michael K's son.
Negative.
Negative?
Negative. No, I don't have an ego.
Really?
I don't know about
Like that
one.
I am not a Yankee boy. At least you like admit
The Red
it.
Sox are playing right now. They're playing. Is this the Orioles home opener?
Yeah.
Okay. How'd the O's do this weekend?
Not good.
Not good?
No.
Actually, I still got to think of a suffering moment of the week.
I have mine. But I feel like Jacob's going to really like mine.
See, I think I know what
I put it in the dog.
I already know what Jacob's going to be, and I'm not.
I haven't thought about it yet, by the way. So
I know what you're gonna
It comes in the head at the tip of time.
You know, he said they have great fans, not we have great fans.
They did. Soto said that. He said they.
Soto.
It's pretty funny.
After the win on Friday, they asked him like, "What has surprised you with the Mets?" And he said like, how many fans they have down here in Houston. And because he said they and not we, Jacob
That's an
texted me
important
about
thing.
that. It's really not.
Yes, it is.
I understand what you're saying, Jacob, but
Thank you.
nothing
Oui Oui's
to-
French. I don't
nothing
care.
to really lead into.
I didn't know it was kicking off Raw. I gotta
Is
tell
Raw
you,
is Raw in the afternoon again?
3 o'clock. Yeah, last week.
I'm gonna have to put it on again.
Does
I'm
anyone?
tell you, I'm a little upset about this WrestleMania build. It's a little under. It's under.
Yeah, this,
ESPN
Benintendi at a home run. Wow.
on
He hits a home run. That means.
com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
wrapping up shop here on Newhouse Afternoon on ESPN Radio Syracuse. Dan Papillo, Josh Radjanov, Jacob K. Talking about MLB opening weekend, and all three of our teams definitely had an interesting weekend for very different reasons. I think we can start. We have the two extremes on the end, and then we kind of have in the middle a little bit better. I think we'll start on Jacob's end because I know he wants to talk about the Yankees. He teased it into break.
No more bat talk.
No more bat talk. Let's talk about the actual team performance, Jacob. The floor is yours.
I mean, I thought they did pretty good. I'm not going to overreact. I mean, last year, I think a week into the season, I had music playing. I had the whole we had a party on the show. I'm not doing that. I didn't say one thing about anything. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I think what happened Saturday was disgusting with the errors, 5 errors and letting up 9 runs. I thought that is not okay.
They almost put up a triple-double.
I was very annoyed about that. But again, 3 wins. It's a great start to the season. I can't complain. If this is their identity, I'd be thrilled with that. A little more speed. Bullpen's great. Tim Hill, gotta love Tim Hill. Just, I'm satisfied. Best way I could have imagined to start, but I'm not going to overreact.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just go down the line.
Sure.
I figured. The Rangers had a good opening weekend. Played 4 games against the Red Sox. Took 3 out of 4. The biggest, most encouraging thing that Jacob alluded to before the break, Jacob deGrom. 5 scoreless innings, 2 hits yesterday in the clean powder blue Ranger
uniforms.
uniforms.
It's enough to make a young man cry.
Yeah, it was really good. He had pinpoint control. Jacob deGrom was back, and it was really awesome to watch yesterday. And what was really surprising me was his changeup, which isn't usually his go-to pitch. It's usually just the fastball slider combo.
What was he sitting at on his fastball, by the way?
About 97.
Not bad.
96, 97. I mean, it was pretty good for his standards. I mean, obviously he used to throw 100, but his changeup looked incredibly well. It just looked so good. It was just dying
it's a great
with that
pitch.
arm side run. I mean, when you're expecting 97 and you're getting 89 and it's dying away from you, he made some hitters look really silly. So, encouraging start for the Rangers. Adolis Garcia looks like he is on fire to start the year. Already has 2 home runs, 4 extra base hits on the year. It was a good start for the Rangers for sure.
You'll take
3
it.
whiffs. Pretty good on the changeup.
And then on the other side of the spectrum, a lot of expectation coming into the weekend for the New York Mets, taking on the Astros in Houston. Juan Soto making his debut.
And they scored
5 runs all weekend. Not very convincing stuff. Only 6 hits in the opening day on Thursday. You scored 3 runs on just 5 hits on Friday, and then you had 1 hit on Saturday off Spencer Arrighetti the entire game, which was a Juan Soto ball off the wall in the first inning. So not a whole lot to be excited about with the Mets, but I will say that, coming into the season, everybody was saying that, it would be the offense would be fine. It'd be the pitching that was going to struggle. The pitching was the question mark. It was the other way around.
I bet you they'll both be question marks
Clay Holmes,
by the time.
Clay Holmes, Tyler McGill, Griffin Canning had solid starts.
I have
3
so
of them.
much faith in those guys to be.
Guess what?
Good
10
down the stretch.
scoreless innings from that feeble Mets bullpen.
With the Mets, how it works is when they pitch, they can't hit. When they can hit, they can't pitch.
That's exactly
the story. So it doesn't matter.
Nail in the bud.
It doesn't matter anything tonight. If they go 7 shutout, they won't score a run.
They better score a run.
Other MLB storylines: the Dodgers starting 5-0. They took 3 convincingly from the Tigers.
I don't know about that.
Actually, no, not convincingly. I was watching that game on when was it? Friday
night. Yeah.
That was awesome, dude.
That was a great game.
Mookie Betts walk off after the Tigers tied it.
Tigers fans think they got screwed. Yeah.
A little bit of a controversial call.
What about Roki Sasaki crying after?
Okay, yeah, that's a little crazy.
It's a little much.
You're gonna complain. He was like, I don't want to pitch in a big market. Then you sign with the Dodgers, and then you're gonna cry about it.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Should go down to the Tigers. I mean, come on.
I thought he should have went to the Mariners. But it's time for us to introduce our fun favorite segment of our show, the suffering moment of the week. For those of you who haven't heard this before, we like to incorporate a little bit of fun, talking about moments that aren't too fun for the fans, things that make you say, I hate sports, my team is just ever rooted in suffering like the Mets are. So who wants to go first?
I can kick us off because it kind of relates to what we were talking about. I'm going to go with Rafael Devers.
Okay.
0 for 16 to start the year through 4 games against the Rangers. He did have 2 walks, 1 RBI from that walk, but 12 strikeouts. 12 strikeouts is absolutely insane in one weekend. Slow starts happen. 0 for 16, 12 strikeouts doesn't usually happen, especially from a guy who was causing a lot of controversy in spring training, talking about how he wasn't going to, be a designated hitter only. He wanted to play third base. Bregman took the third base spot, and Devers struggled.
It's got to be a mental thing, right?
It's definitely a mental thing, but sorry, Rafael Devers, you're my suffering moment of the week.
Jacob, you got one, or you want me to go?
You can go.
All right, I'm probably going to steal yours, but I think I got to give it to Juan Soto on Thursday. had the chance to be the hero, have his Met moment already in the first game of the season, down 3-1, bases loaded, 2 outs, and the best plate discipline in the world magically disappeared.
You want to face Josh Hader throwing that nasty slider left on left?
He chased that nasty slider out of the zone.
Didn't last year.
That was unfortunate for me. I was pretty mad about that one, but that's my suffering moment of the week for me.
You know the song "The Night Changes" song?
You gotta have to be more specific.
Like the sad, like the I don't know, whatever. I was thinking about in my head, just imagining all day like the Soto from last season with the Yankees hitting that big hit against Hader, and then a fade to the Mets. Womp, womp, womp. Juan So-so.
Juan So-so.
Is that going to be a Frank the Tank nickname by?
Yeah, probably it will be. Juan So-so.
I can't wait for Griffin Canting. I know that one's coming at some point.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, Jose Butto. I love that one too.
Wrap us up here with yours.
All right. What's mine? I mean, all the underdogs. They're losers.
March Madness?
One seed to the winners.
So you're just going to take all the underdogs in March Madness?
I don't know if that's really suffering if the underdogs are losing.
How about Texas Tech blowing that lead after,
Tennessee too, tough loss there too.
Tennessee was 15 points in the first half.
We'll go with that. That's how we're going to wrap up shop here today. Thank you so much for listening here on Newhouse Afternoon. We got the sports show with Cody Mack up next here on ESPN Radio Syracuse. For one last time, Jacob K., Josh Radjanov, Dan Papillo saying so long, everyone.